Hi, this is my review for Power Rangers Dino Fury Season 1, Episode 5, titled Winning Attitude. Now, so far this season, the action has been pretty well choreographed. The theme song, the music has been top-notch. And you know what? The characters are pretty likable as well. Now, over the last 20 years of Power Rangers, diversity has been a big key to the show's success. Showing diversity is key in anything, but Power Rangers has been doing it for a very long time, and this episode is no different. Now, this episode, the plot is as follows. Izzy is determined to win a big race with the help of her Special Olympics athlete cousin Lily. After Lily misses a training session and Izzy rejects more help, her sportsmanship is put to the test. Now, the episode is more of a Green Ranger centric episode. Not as much action happened in terms of its, oh my god, it's brilliant. Because last week's episode, the introduction to the Black and Green Ranger, the action sequence there, as I said last week in my review, was brilliant. Absolutely loved it. And some of the best action sequences you will probably see in Power Rangers of all time. It was that damn good. So, yeah, this episode here, we got Izzy. She's training for her big race. Of course, she's a long distance runner, cross country, and she's trying to impress her father by winning the race. You know, she wants to impress her father. There's a lot of pressure on her, and her trainer is Lily, who has won a medal at the Special Olympics. So I thought the interaction between those two characters was pretty good, and Lily also got to interact with the rest of the Power Rangers, which was also sweet. But Izzy's getting ready to train, and there's no sign of Lily, and the two of them have like a conflict because Lily says she was off helping somebody else, and she says that winning isn't the most important thing, helping others is. But Izzy doesn't want to hear anything of it because she wants to win her race. She's thinking of herself. She wants to impress her father. So she storms off and says she'll train herself. But we fast forward to the race. We get there. Izzy's feeling bad for the way that she treated Lily. But as she finds out, Lily was late to training because Lily was helping her other friend who's going through a disability as well. She's in a wheelchair, she broke her leg. And Izzy starts to feel guilt straight away. She wants to go over and apologise to Lily, but there's no time because the race is starting right now and she goes and does the race. But also in this race, she has an arch nemesis. There's this other girl who doesn't really like Izzy. There's a competitive streak in her as well. She goes to Izzy, you're not going to win this race. Izzy's like, just watch me, I'm going to win this race. But Izzy's by far the best runner. She is absolutely brilliant. She's about to win the race. She's miles ahead of anyone else, but that arch nemesis, the girl who didn't really like her, ends up twisting her ankle and falling into a ditch. And instead of Izzy going to the finish line and winning and getting a medal, impressing her father, you know, being the best runner in the town, she goes back and helps the girl. You know, she helps her up, she makes sure so that she gets medical attention, and I thought that was very good. But the side Power Ranger note of this episode is that Void Knight thinks that he can locate the Zords before the Power Rangers. Now, the Black Ranger and Green Ranger were introduced without their Zords. They had their Power Ranger key, but their Zords were nowhere to be seen. Now, we've got Zato, Amelia, and Ollie in this episode. They don't really do that much in terms of out of the costume, but in the costume they've got a lot of action going on and they do need help near the end of it. And I thought there was a nice introduction with the Green Ranger Zord at the end. But Zoltan thinks that she can find the Zords, but she needs time. But Void Knight thinks he can get them before the Power Rangers do, and his plan is to blow them up. So he has Mucus and he has Boom Tower go and deliver a bomb into the ground to blow up the Zords. That's their plan. But also, there's another spork introduced in this episode. I didn't quite catch his name, but it's Fish, or it's like a fish monster, and his job is to go and distract the Power Rangers of the Red Ranger, of the Blue Ranger, of the Pink Ranger, and of the Black Ranger, and distract them so Void Knight and his plan can come to be completed. But also we have Izzy off doing the race, so the Power Rangers are kind of weakened, you know. But this episode, as I said, it was okay. It wasn't the best episode of the season so far. There's other ones I really enjoyed because I thought the action was a lot better. But this episode had more of a kind of a teaching lesson, you know, that winning isn't important, that helping others is, you know. But so, yeah, the fish monster in this episode was forgettable too. I didn't think it was that good, you know, but I do like Void Knight. He's my favourite in this show so far. I think his costume was badass. His voice is great as well. And I like how he's not stupid. He has a plan. He understands what he's doing. We don't understand what his big plan is yet, like what he's trying to build. But each episode he has a plan. He's trying to stick to it. And he puts different characters in different places. I like how he had Mucus and Boom Tower off doing one job, and he had this fish monster off distracting the Power Rangers because he's trying to complete his plan. And I thought that was absolutely brilliant there. It didn't work out for him in the end, but still it's cool to have a villain in a Power Ranger universe show that actually has a plan and is like, he feels like a threat to the Power Rangers, which is awesome. But as I said, the Power Rangers are off fighting. They have to fight the fish monster, but they need help because they're not going to defeat it on their own. And as Izzy, after helping the young girl up, Izzy's left there thinking, oh, what am I going to do now? I've lost the race. But she hears a noise, and it's Boom Tower's voice, and it's mucus, and she tries to stop them from blowing up the Zord, and she succeeds. She takes them on by herself, and it all works out, and then she unites with the rest of the Power Rangers, and we get to see the introduction of the Tiger Claw Zord, the green Zord, which I think was pretty awesome. It had its moment. It fought the fish monster as well, and then it kind of joined up with the rest of the Power Rangers Zords to this big massive Zord, which was pretty cool. I think the green added a lot to it as well. The green made the Zord a lot cooler at the front, and a new headpiece as well. So yeah, but the action sequence with the fish and the Zord, it was okay. It's not my favourite of this season so far, but I think the highlight was seeing the Tiger Claw Zord come out of the mountain, being there for millions of years, of course, and attacking the fish monster. And of course, the Power Rangers won and succeeded. And Void Knight, his plan didn't happen, it didn't work, but it was still cool to see him have one. But as they defeat the fish monster, Izzy's a bit kind of depleted. She's annoyed because she's never not finished the race, and her brother, Javi goes, well, you still have time, you can go do it. So she gets up, she gets out of her suit, and she finishes the race, which was great to see. Even though she came last, she still finishes the race. And then she apologizes to Lily and says, Lily, you were right. Helping people is more important than winning. And there's a sweet moment between everybody there. So this episode was good. It was more of a teaching lesson, I think, in terms of anything. But I also thought it was good to introduce a character going through a disability, two characters going through a disability as well, and Lily was a nice, likeable character that brought a very interesting lesson towards children, which I think was awesome. But yeah, episode was okay. Looking forward to next week's episode, see how that goes, see what Void Knight's plan is. I hope he's in more of the episode, because I think the episodes are a lot better when he's in a lot more of the episode. But we'll see how it progresses. We still don't have the black sword yet. We still don't have Javi's sword, which is interesting. They'll probably have to go and find that next week or in a few episodes from now. But I do like this season because from episode 1, we didn't have the 5 Power Rangers together. We had 3. And we had to progress in terms of storytelling to find the other Power Rangers, and we did. And now the team isn't really that complete yet because they don't have their Zords. They don't have every single Zord. So Javi has to go find his Zord now. Izzy had to find her Zord, and she has. So I like how that's going in the show. It's building up to be the actual Power Rangers team instead of being the Power Rangers team from day 1, which I think is fascinating. But as I said, Void Knight's my favourite character. I love him. Even though he's the villain, he's just cool. And I think the Power Ranger team are in for a treat for the rest of this season. But we didn't really get too much with Amelia, with Ollie, or with Zato in this episode. But that's fair, because in the first 3 or 4 episodes, they were definitely highlighted big time. We got some comedic moments between Jane and her robot. They came across a spork as well, and Jane was doing a lesson in the park with children to tell them, if you see a spork, this is what you do. You dial this number, you contact the Power Rangers, you stay calm, you don't scream or anything like that. But as she's delivering this talk to the children, a spork appears out of nowhere, tries to go up her clothes, and she starts to scream. And it was funny that, so far this season, I haven't liked the robot, I haven't liked Jane, because I thought the comedic moments was very cheesy. But I understand it's for children. But you know what was interesting in this episode was it actually was funny, and I did actually laugh, because Jane's telling the kids not to scream, to stay calm when there's sporks or monsters anywhere, called the Power Rangers. But as the spork comes out of nowhere, it goes up her clothes, she starts to scream. Her phone falls, and a little girl goes up, gets the phone, and dials the Power Rangers and tells them to come here, there's monsters here. And I thought that was pretty funny. That did make me chuckle, that did make me laugh. So maybe there's not, maybe there's something to be seen with these two characters yet. Maybe they do have a place in my heart in this Power Rangers show, Jane and the robot. So we'll have to see how that goes, but I thought that was interesting. Very funny with the kids. Maybe have them around kids more often, because I think it might be a little bit more funny. But guys, what do you think of Power Rangers Dino Fury Episode 5, titled Winning Attitude? Let me know below. Give a like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like more Power Ranger content, make sure you do subscribe, because I will be doing a lot more Power Rangers videos in the future, especially for Dino Fury and maybe for some of the older movies as well. But guys, I appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoy yourself. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you're enjoying the season. I definitely am. But guys, be kind, be nice, and winningness and everything, helping others is more important, as Lily would say. Pretty good lesson. Live by it, and you'll be on the right track. Okay guys, I'll see you then.